सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I will chant this shloka. You can repeat after me. Pratah Smarami Bhavabhitiharam Suresham Gangadharam Vrishabhavahanam Ambikesham Khatvangashoolavaradabhayahastamisham Samsararogaharamaushadamadvitiyam. So somebody was thinking that how Swamiji will 3 shlokas, he will run over 6 classes, So now we are still in one first shloka only. So don't worry, what Swamiji will do after all shlokas are over. And some people may worry, still we are in one first shloka only, how Swamiji will complete, that also you don't worry. So, some people are unnecessary, they are very unnecessarily. Even when I was conducting the course, that time, we were in the 4th chapter, 5th chapter, and only few months were remaining. So they were concerned how Swamiji will complete. We completed, and 2 hours were remaining. So 2 days, 1 or 2 days were remaining. We met with the target. All right. So that should be, if at all somebody is concerned, it should be me. I should be concerned. How will I complete? I am not concerned, because we can complete the whole thing in one class also. This whole stotra can be done in one class. 6 class also. So that is there. Our parampara is so rich. All right. So we were seeing Pratah Smarami, I remember the Lord who is Bhava Bhiti Haram, remover of fear of samsara or taking place in samsara. Suresham, the Lord of all devatas, all gods. Gangadharam, holding the Ganga, river Ganga in his head. Vrishabhavahanam, having the bull as his vehicle. Ambikesham, the Lord of Durga, Parvati, the mother of all. Ambika literally means mother. Shiva is the Lord of the mother of the entire world. Khatvanga Shulavara, the Abhaya Hastam, the one who is having Khatvanga, a limb or a stick of a cot, Shula, trident, Varada, the gesture of granting the boon, Abhaya, having the gesture of assurance, protection. That Lord in his hand, the Lord who is having a limb of a cot, trident, the gesture of granting the boon and assurance in his hand. So the Lord is having all these things in his hand. And Isham, the next word is Isham. Isham is one who is the Lord. The Lord of whom? The Lord of all. The word Isha is derived from Ish Dhatu, which has got the meaning rule over. Aishwarye. Ishte Sarvamiti Ishaha. One who rules over everyone is Ishvaraha. How Ishvara rules over everyone? Through his law of karma, through all universal laws. And therefore, this understanding that Ishvara rules over the entire world, if you understand well, then you will have the trust in the universal justice. Most of the people have this question. You know what? That Swamiji, good people are suffering, bad people are enjoying. In your life also you might have this question. And many people have this question. Swamiji, why good people are suffering and wrong people are enjoying? And generally people think what? We are good people, but we are suffering, and my neighbor is a bad person, he is enjoying. Nobody says, Swamiji, I am a bad person, still I am how come I am enjoying? Nobody thinks like this. Most of the people think, I am a good person, but still, Swamiji, I am suffering so much. Whereas others are not good people, how they are enjoying. First of all, how do you know that really they are enjoying? You think they are enjoying, may not be enjoying. And still, even if you believe that they are enjoying, then we say that that person has earned some punya which he is encashing now. And you are doing good karma, but in the past you had done wrong karmas, and for that you are paying now. Generally, I give this example that when you go to the bank, nowadays is different, but in olden days, and you deposit 5,000, and still your passbook is showing red entry. You know what is red entry? Red entry means negative balance. It's called red entry. Nowadays people don't know because they don't see passbook. There is no passbook. In those days, it's called red entry. Overdraft is there, then red entry. So you deposited 5,000, still it is showing negative balance, and other person withdrew the 5,000, still is showing positive balance. Possible or not? Possible or not? When it happens, do you get angry with the bank person, that banker, do you get angry? See, I gave you 5,000 and my balance is negative. He withdrew 5,000 and still his balance is positive. You don't get angry. Why? Because the background is different. You had little bit over withdrawn in the past, and that person had deposited in the past. And therefore present transaction is different. Presently you are depositing and he is withdrawing. Still the outcome will be different. Similarly, in Ishvara's justice, nobody will have injustice. In the Ishvara's order, nobody will have injustice. In Hindi there is a saying, भगवान के घर देर है अंधेर नहीं है. Means in Bhagwan's house, means in Bhagwan's rule, there means delay. Delay may be there, but darkness, injustice will not be there. That is the meaning of that saying. भगवान के घर देर है अंधेर नहीं है. Means there may be delay sometimes, but not injustice. But we don't agree with that statement also. We say there is no even delay. Because delay also shows the inefficiency of the rule. We don't even agree with that. We say, Bhagwan ke ghar der bhi nahi, andher bhi nahi. Delay also is not there and injustice also is not there. But Swamiji, we see the delay. In your perception, there is delay because you are impatient. When we are impatient, no, then even rice will take 10 minutes, 15 minutes to be cooked. You are very hungry. So you are taking so much time because you are hungry. Or this young man wants to be father very immediately, and therefore he said 9 months, it looks too big for him. But that is what natural time is. So similarly, in Ishvara's rule, there is no delay or there is no injustice. But what happens? We are seeing from a very small situation. We are just focusing on a very particular situation, and we feel that, see, this person is doing wrong things, he is enjoying. In fact, that is how it will be there in the movie also, you see. In movie, first hero, the villain will be growing, the hero will be suppressed. Then finally who will win? Hero will win. Even our Indian movies are like this, And not only that, movie is a representative of our belief system. So Ishvara, there is justice. And therefore, if sometimes you feel that there is some injustice done, need not have anger with the Lord, need not be angry with oneself. There is justice and it will happen, because Ishvara rules everyone. We do not know the law of karma, and therefore we may feel injustice for the time being, but in long run there is no injustice. Alright, so he is Ishaha. And next one is the last line, Samsara Roga Haram Aushadam Advitiyam. All these are adjectives for Lord Shiva. So Bhagavan Shiva is what? Aushadam, medicine. He is like medicine. Sometimes Bhagavan is called a doctor, sometimes he is called medicine itself. And medicine, what does it do? Roga Haram, removes the disease. And what is the disease? Samsara Roga, the disease of samsara. So Bhagavan Shiva is a medicine removing or remover of the disease of samsara. And how does Bhagavan do that? Like a local doctor, what he does, you have intense pain. Then firstly he gives you some symptomatic relief. First you should get some relief. And later on he addresses root cause of the problem and removes the disease from the root. That is what the doctor's approach is there. Because it may take time to remove the disease from its root. And therefore immediately what is required is symptomatic relief. So symptom-wise relief, like you have some too much sneezing or fever or something, for that he gives medicine, so that you feel good, which is important. If you go to the doctor and doctor says, I will remove this problem from the root, let it take time, and it doesn't give you the symptomatic treatment, then your trust may go away. Even to win your trust, some relief in symptoms should be given. So Bhagavan also does that. In fact, from Bhagavan only the local doctors must have learnt. And that is, first, Bhagavan grants you strong connection with himself, because of which your dependence upon the world is reduced. The journey is from the world dependence to God dependence. So Bhagavan, how he helps you? He creates a strong bond with himself, because of which you are enjoying so much, remembering him, thinking about him, or chanting his glory, doing his puja, worshipping him in the form of this world. And because of that, your complaints about the world, your jealousy, your anger with reference to the world is reduced. And you have relative sense of satisfaction. In the 10th chapter, Bhagavan very beautifully presents this idea. Mat chitta mat gatah prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So my devotees who are mat chittaha, having focused their mind on me, mat gatah pranaha, having focused their organs on me, bodhayantas parasparam, with their co-students they will be sharing the glories about me, kathayantaha, teaching to someone who is ready to learn, tushyanti, they are satisfied. And still satisfaction has got like a neutral, is a zero line. Therefore it says ramanti cha, they are delighting, they are enjoying. Not mere satisfaction. Satisfaction, theek hai. Not that. It is not that a zero line. It is positively gratifying. They are gratified, they are pleased. And thus, this dependence upon the world is reduced and enjoying the presence of Ishvara, enjoying the appreciation of Ishvara. This is the first level of treatment. Of what? Samsara rogaha. And then what? Bhagavan says there only, 10th chapter, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayantite. Bhagavan says to those devotees, I grant the boon of buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga means association with the right vision. What is the right vision? All that is here is Ishvara, that Ishvara I am. That is the vision of Vedanta. In the whole camp, if you forget everything else, this much you remember. What is the vision of Vedanta? All that is here not in Gurukulam, all that is here in this universe is Ishvara, that Ishvara you are, I am. All that is here is Ishvara, that Ishvara I am. This is the vision of Vedanta. And that is granted by Ishvara. Always remember this fact that Atma Jnanam is a gift of Ishvara. It is not really something you get only by your efforts, it is the gift of Ishvara. And by Atma Jnanam, the samsara roga is removed at the root level. Yesterday we saw that what is samsara, what is bondage? Bondage is in the form of my dependence upon the world to be happy, my sense of limitation, my wrong notion that I am the doer, I am subject to omissions and commissions, I am subject to guilt and hurt, that individual I, Jivatva, the individuality which is caused of ignorance is removed by Atma Jnanam. By knowing myself to be limitless Brahman, I become free from the notion of being a small individual. And my problem of samsara, in the form of dependence upon the world to be happy, the problem of samsara in the form of all the time feeling limited, that goes away. Body will continue to be limited. It is not that once you get Atma Jnanam, your body will be immortal, or body will be free from disease, body will be all pervasive. Your body doesn't become all pervasive. It doesn't become even all pervasive, not all pervasive, it cannot become. Should not become also. But the samsara, the bondage, this dependence, helplessness, One sign of jiva is helplessness, all the time feeling helpless. This person doesn't listen to me, this person doesn't cooperate with me. Weather is not proper, then the government is not proper. So I'm helpless, Swamiji, helpless. That sense of helplessness, I am nobody considers me anything, I am useless, I am a very small fellow. All these things, all these complexes go away. Now our life is full of complexes. Sometimes we feel superior with reference to some people, and with most of the time, with most of the people, we feel inferior. And these complexes are very costly. So when I have got inferiority complex, then to hide that I may do so many things which may cost a lot, your life becomes simple. When you get this self-knowledge, you know what happens? You just remain as you are. Doing things or not doing things do not matter to you. We think that by doing we are bound, or by not doing we are bound. Really we are not bound by doing or not doing. We are bound by the notion that I am the doer. And that notion goes away. Therefore, if the activities happen through the body, mind, sense complex, it doesn't matter. So you are free from all complexes. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. This pressure to prove, creates lot of stress. I have to prove that I am a good teacher. I have to prove that I am a good student. I have to prove that I am a good husband, I am a good wife. We always look for some certificate. Even people, when they apply for Vedanta, they ask this question. Somebody, will there be a certificate? Will there be exam? I say, no exam. No certificate. We write in the advertisement of the course itself, we write, no certificate will be given. That very orientation to study Vedanta is not correct. We don't encourage that. For certificate you study Vedanta is a degradation of Vedanta. We don't do that. Vedanta study is not for getting certificate. In fact, we are saying that all your certificates are false. The very person, the individual who is trying to get certificate itself is mithya, unreal. When ahankara itself is unreal, where is the question of embellishment of ahankara? Ornamentation of ahankara. Oh, I have done 3-year course, 5-year course, 1-year course. Is a wrong approach. You don't require any certificate from anyone. You enjoy yourself as you are. Just enjoy being. Our struggle is to become someone. Your struggle to become someone goes away. You just enjoy being what you are. Just be. What you are, just be that. You don't have to do anything to be happy. Now we require so many people to tickle us, so that we can be happy. You don't require any tickling from anyone. You are happy with yourself. That is called samsara roga haram. So 2-level treatment is given. First, from word dependence, you come to God dependence, Ishvara dependence. From Ishvara dependence, you come to self-dependence. You just depend upon yourself. And dependence upon oneself is not a dependence. Dependence is dependence when it is on somebody else. And that is done by the Lord. Therefore, it is called samsara roga haram aushadam. And is there any such other medicine? He says, no, advitiyam. matchless, secondless. Dvitiya means second. Advitiya means secondless, matchless. So Lord Shiva is a matchless medicine removing the disease of samsara. In fact, first we need to have this conviction that is it possible that my all problems are because of ignorance and ignorance born mistakes, and they can go by the knowledge. That conviction has to come first. In fact, many people study Vedanta for so many years, but this conviction doesn't come. Therefore, they want to have some backup. थोड़ा जप कर लेते, उपासना कर लेते. By chance I don't get moksha, something should be there for backup. Nothing wrong in doing japa, upasana, tirth, this pilgrimage, etc. Nothing wrong. But reliance is not on that. My problem is because of ignorance and ignorance born wrong conclusions, and the solution is knowledge, abidance in knowledge. When that conviction comes, then only your spiritual journey really starts. Till then you are just warming up exercise. It will start working when this conviction is there that yes, my whatever problem I have is because of this ignorance born wrong conclusions. Therefore, only solution is knowledge. I want to get this knowledge, abide in this knowledge. Then only you will have commitment for this pursuit of knowledge. Otherwise, it will be a hobby, what is called pastime. When you have nothing to do, you study Vedanta. That type of priority it will have. So this conviction is suggested by this expression, samsara roga haram aushadam. Advitiyam. Bhagavan is a matchless samsara roga haram aushadam. But how he does? First, by providing the strong bond with himself, and then giving the self-knowledge which removes the problem of samsara. And Bhagavan becomes the samsara roga haram by becoming the subject matter of the self-knowledge. And because I understand what in self-knowledge, I am limitless Shivaha, Shivoham. Shivoham is the understanding. So Bhagavan himself, by providing the subject matter, being the subject matter of this self-knowledge which removes the disease of samsara, he becomes samsara roga haram aushadam. Alright. Advitiyam, matchless. Thus, the first shloka is completed. What is the meaning of this shloka, Swamiji? So many things you told, final meaning. So I will read slowly the final meaning of this shloka. I remember the Lord of all gods, who is remover of fear of bondage, who is holding Ganga in his head, having the bull as his vehicle, the Lord of Durga, the mother of all, having a limb of cot, trident, gesture of granting the boon and reassurance in his hand, the Lord of all, and matchless or secondless medicine, removing the disease of bondage. Alright, this is some people want to have translation. So for them I am telling, main thing is the idea understanding. So one who is secondless or matchless medicine, removing the disease of bondage. And before I proceed to the next one, I just wanted to say a little bit more about Ambikesham. Ambikesha, the meaning we gave, the Lord of Ambika, the mother of all. But there is another meaning also. Generally, now I have reduced giving more interpretations, but since it is important to know, I am giving. One meaning is Lord Shiva is the Lord of Ambika, the mother of all. But other way also, Ambika, the mother of all, is the ruler of whom? Means Parvati is the ruler of Shiva. That message also is there. Sanskrit has got that beauty. You can reverse also. Shiva is the Lord of Parvati, that meaning you derive, and Parvati is the Lord of whom? Shiva, that meaning also you can derive. That is the uniqueness of Sanskrit language. You can say both, meaning will be both. Those who know grammar, Ambikayaha Ishaha Ambikeshaha, Shashti Tatpurusha. Ambika Ishaha Yasya. The one for whom Ambika, Parvati is the Lord, is also called Ambikesha. So there is no like a male chauvinism. Swamiji, every time Bhagwan only, Shiva alone is the wife, husband and Lord and all this. It's not so. We have got all full equality. Both meanings are there. And in Shiva Purana, Shiva in one place is telling that also. To Parvati who was doing lot of tapas, he said, Shiva tells this, I am your dasaha. You have bought me by your tapas. Te dasaha, kritaha. By you, you have really bought me by your tapas. And therefore, you can say either way. Shiva is the Lord of Parvati, or Parvati is the what is called mistress or the what is called ruler of Shiva. Both ways it is there. Alright. This idea we are going to discuss a little more in the next sloka also. Pratarnamami girisham girijardadeham sargasthiti pralaya karanamadidevam Vishveshwaram vijita vishwamanobhiramam samsara rogaharam aushadam advitiyam Pratarnamami girisham girijardhadeham sargasthiti pralaya karanamadidevam Vishveshwaram vijita vishwamanobhiramam samsara rogaharam aushadam advitiyam. Now all of you can chant Prat.
विश्वेश्वरं विजितविश्वमनोभिरामं संसाररोगहरमौषधमद्वितीयम्।
प्रातः नमामि गिरीशं गिरिजार्धदेहं सर्गस्थिति प्रलय कारणम आदिदेवम. What I am doing is now breaking the words. Vishweshwaram Vijita Vishwamanobhiramam Samsara Rogaharam Aushadham Advitiyam. So now the next one is Pratah Namami. Pratah means in the morning. Namami, I salute, I prostrate. Namami is otherwise called Namaskaraha. Namami idea is conveyed by the word Namaskaraha, salutation. This word Namaha is a very important, beautiful word. Namaha indicates surrender of the person who is chanting the word Namaha. When I say Shivaya Namaha, then Namaha means surrender. Shivaya, to Lord Shiva. So Namaha means surrender. That's why very beautiful word. Most of the mantras will have this word Namaha. In fact, you can keep just chanting Namaha, Namaha, Namaha. That itself also is good. Just surrender. And surrender means, simple word surrender means dropping my resistance and insistence. We have so much resistance. Why he did like this to me 20 years ago? Why me? Swamiji, why me? From all people, why me? This is a big why me. See, when good things happen to you only, that time you never asked that why me only, Swamiji? I was selected. Of all people, I only was given this particular award or particular thing. Why me? I did not ask this. Now you are asking what? Why me? So, why me is a sign of resistance. So, I let go of this resistance. Why me? There must be a reason for that. I may know, I may not know, but there is a reason. Like if something is hot, then you know that there must be association with fire. Whether you have seen it or you have not seen it, you know for sure. Similarly, whatever has happened must have some cause, sometimes known, sometimes not known. And therefore, I drop my resistance. Why me? Or I did not get this chance. Why I did not get this chance? Why he behaved like this? He had a background to behave in that manner at that time. Therefore, he behaved like this. Drop resistance. Drop insistence. Insistence is with reference to present. Resistance is generally with reference to the past. So, I drop both of them. And that is called surrender to Ishvara. There is a beautiful sloka which talks about the 6 aspects of surrender. It's a beautiful sloka, so I will share. Anukulasya sankalpaha Pratikulasya varjanam. Anukulasya sankalpaha Pratikulasya varjanam. Rakshishyati, rakshishyati iti vishvasaha. Goptrutve varanam tatha. Atma nikshepa karpanye. Atma nikshepa karpanye. Shadvidha sharana gatihi. I will explain each one of them. Atma nikshepa karpanye. Shadvidha sharana gatihi. When you say surrender to the Lord or surrender to the Guru, it will have these 6 aspects. One is anukulasya sankalpaha. I will be in harmony with the Lord. I will be in harmony with the order of dharma, which is Ishvara. I will do what has been prescribed by the Lord in the scripture. That is called anukulasya sankalpa. Somebody will say, Swamiji, I am surrendered to you, but don't ask me anything to do it. Guruji says something, then no, that I can't do, that I can't do, but I am surrendered to you. It has got no meaning. It is a lip service. People do lip service. Swamiji, whatever you say, we are surrendered, fully surrendered to you. Surrender means this. I do whatever is in keeping with his or her ways of thinking, ways of doing, the way he or she would expect me to behave. With a trust, the feeling of trust that whatever he or she prescribes will be for my good. So, anukulasya sankalpaha. When you are surrendered to someone, you don't go against that person. You try to be in harmony with that person. Pratikulasya varjanam. Whatever is unfavorable, whatever is in disharmony, you drop. Bhagavan has prohibited certain things in the Shastra. I am surrendered to Bhagavan, therefore I drop those things. Bhagavan says, Suram na pibet, I will give up that. No, Swamiji, this is my dear, I cannot give up. Then it is not surrender. The spirituality and spirit don't go together. Alcohol is called spirit also. So spirit and spirituality don't go together. So you drop spirit, retain spirituality. Yes. I am surprised that they attending Vedanta classes, everything goes, and this also goes. Vijay Swamiji very nicely said. He said, the mouth with which you have chanted the mantras, how can you put alcohol in that? Maintain that. People say, no, that is different, this is different. That type of split in life doesn't take you to great height. You just have some satisfaction. I am Swamiji, I am spiritual in true sense of the term. Both the terms, both the meanings I am following. I am spiritual. So I follow. So, pratikulasya varjanam. Some people who are drinking, when they hear such things, they said, I cannot drink alcohol. I cannot give up alcohol. I will give up Swami. Who is talking like this? Anyway, pratikulasya varjanam. And rakshishyati iti vishvasaha. The trust in the heart that Bhagavan will protect me. My altar of surrender will protect me. That vishvasaha. And goptrutve varanam tatha. And choosing Bhagavan as my protector. Vishwasa is there, and also I choose, consciously choose Bhagavan as my protector. Generally people have so much trust in the insurance policy. I have insurance. So how much trust you have? At least that much or more than that trust you can have in Bhagavan when you surrender. Goptrutve varanam tatha. Then atma nikshepa. Throwing oneself at the feet of the Lord. That is little higher degree of surrender. When you tell Bhagavan, whatever way you want to keep this body, you keep. If you want to serve him food, serve this body food, you serve. If you don't, you don't. But at least, even if that much you can't have, at least drop worries about what will happen tomorrow. Many people are so much worried. After 20 years, Swamiji, what will happen to this bank balance? Inflation rate is this, and then eroded. My bank balance will not be enough. After 20 years, whether you will be there or not, that's a different thing. But so much worried. Yeah, since you do not have complete surrender, you plan something. Nothing wrong in planning. But at least worries you give it to Bhagavan. You can have a partnership with Bhagavan. What? Bhagavan, working I will do and worries you do. We are doing ulta. We are worried and don't do anything. And Bhagavan, you do everything. I will simply worry. Do opposite. Whatever practically needs to be done, you do it. And Bhagavan, you worry. I will not go to worry. That is called Atma Nikshepa. And Karpanyam. Karpanyam here has got the meaning humility. Means you always look upon yourself as instrument of whatever happens. If somebody praises you, oh, you spoke so well, or you did this item so well, you cooked so well, you give credit to the Lord. Give credit to your parents, teachers. Humility. That is called Karpanyam. Means when I am surrendered to the Lord, I give credit for everything to the Lord. This is expressed by the word Namami. We think simple Namami, salute करके चले जाओ, ऐसा नहीं है. थोड़ा आगे भी, there is something in it. Pratah Namami. So I surrender to Lord Shiva. Girisham. This word Girisham is different from Girisham. Some people say the same thing you are telling. No, this is different. One is Girisham, where both are short. Girisham, other is Girisham. But fortunately, both are name of Shiva, so no problem. Bhagavan, even if you say Girisham, he will understand, oh, I only am called. Girisham means, Giri is the seventh case. Giri, Shete iti Girishaha. So one who is, or Girau Shete iti Girishaha. One who is resting on the mountain. Shah has got the meaning Shete. Girau Parvate Himalaye Shete Vasati iti Girishaha. So one who is residing in Himalayas. One Swamiji very nicely observed. He said, our Bhagwan seems to be like, in Hindi mein bolte na, ghar jamai. I don't know, is there a word in Tamil for that? There is no such. Huh? Bit maple. Our Lord Shiva also is like this, and our Vishnu also is like this. So if some of you are there, don't worry. Our Bhagavan has done that. See, Himalaya is the house of Parvati. Parvati's father is Himalayas. So where is Bhagavan Shiva staying? In father-in-law's house. Where is Vishnu staying? Vishnu's wife is Lakshmi. Lakshmi is born of the ocean. And where is Vishnu staying? In the ocean. सब अपने फादर-इन-लॉ के घर में ही रहते हैं, कुछ कमाते बमाते नहीं. So, I told in Hindi that they remain in their father-in-law's house and don't do anything, So like that the Jamai, the son-in-law doesn't do anything. So Shiva is also like that. So Girisham. Another thing is, some Mahatma said that Shiva likes all cool things. So Himalaya is very cool. The snakes also what? They are called cold-blooded. He likes everything cool. Therefore one devotee is telling, "Oh Shiva, you are used to stay and have liking for cool things, and my heart, so much affliction is there. You have to stay in my heart, you must be suffering a lot, because my heart, so much tapa is there, so much affliction is there." This is just a poetic language. Girisham means stays on the mountain. And staying in the mountain also can be taken as indicative of stability. Girisham. And it also indicates Girisham. Gir has got one meaning of Vedas. So one who is residing in Vedas as the very subject matter also can be called Girisham. The next word is Girijardha Deham. Girijardha Deham means having Girija means Parvati, Ja means daughter. Girija means the daughter of the mountain Himalayas, Parvati. Word Parvati, it means Parvatasya Putri Parvati. Parvata means mountain. So Parvati is otherwise called Girija. Girija means Parvati is Ardha Deham, the half body of Lord Shiva. Shiva is having Girija, Parvati as his half body. We have in English also better half. So Parvati is his half body. That is why if you see Shiva's Vigraha, one side will be having the male ornament, other side will be female ornament. And we have got special name for that, Ardhanarishwara. This is a very beautiful concept. When there was some women conference in some country abroad, and Pujya Swamiji sent the Vigraha of Ardhanarishwara to that place of conference, because it represents our thinking. In some religion, what is the thinking about the birth of woman? I read this recently. In Genesis it comes, God caused sleep to fall upon man. He slept, and he took out the rib, and out of the rib he made a woman. This is the thinking. How woman is made? This first man was born. Man was created by God. Then this man was caused to sleep, anesthesia. And then Bhagavan, like a doctor, he took out the rib of a man, took out. Did not take his permission also. Medico-legal will happen. So, took out. And out of the rib, woman was created. It doesn't give good feeling to woman that, see, I was born of just a rib of a man, that's all. Maybe that's why when she gets angry, gets hold of his collar, I think. Anyway, so this is the thinking. Whereas, in Brihadaranyaka, very beautiful description is that how this man and woman are born. Prajapati, the cosmic individual, did not like being alone, and therefore he thought himself to be a combination of the two forms, like a gram, chana, the chia pig. So he thought himself like to be that, having these two halves, a seed having two halves, and then he made himself into two. One part was man, other part was woman. It means you are man and woman are inseparable. They are one. They complement each other. Nobody is superior, nobody is inferior. Both of them are the part of Ishvara. Prajapati, who can represent Ishvara. Both of them are parts of Ishvara. And that is represented by this Girijarda Deham. So God is male or female? Both. In UK now they are trying this, that let us use the gender neutral word for God. In this church they are going to start that particular discussion, that let us, because always they use word he, Father in heaven. So women feel little bit excluded. So he said, can we use some gender neutral word? And in that article it was written, it is very, very difficult to pass this proposal. Because we have to change all the mantras they have, all the liturgical whatever process is there, the God, the Father in heaven, He is, everywhere you have to change. And to change the Bible is very difficult. To say that there is a proposal, but it is very unlikely to pass. Whereas here we are saying now what? Ishvara is both, man and woman both. Girijarda Deham. And in fact, this is a very healthy way of looking upon oneself in terms of gender. Many people have got gender complex. Women have many, not all, but some women have this. Let's see, we are only women. बोलते कि अगर man होता ना तो बता देता. Means if I was a man, I would have shown to the world. So we are inferior. And man also has got sometime complex that we are men. Superiority complex, sometime inferiority. One person was telling, he said, देखो, these girls, when they are at father's house, they are angels of their fathers. And when they get married, they become so powerful. Whereas we man, when we are unmarried, we are beaten by father. When we are married, we are beaten by wife. So, some, not all, some have this complex. So, healthy approach towards the gender is, first thing, I respect the gender of the body I have. Male is not superior, woman also is not superior. both are complementary to each other. Respect the gender you have, respect the gender of the body you have. If you don't respect your gender, how can you expect others to respect your gender? That is the first thing. Second thing is Ardhanarishwara. Appreciating that I am not completely man nor completely woman. I am both. Means everybody has got both the aspects. In the very word woman, man is there or not? Woman. What is the spelling? W-O-M-A-N. There. And in man there is a X and Y both. There. And therefore, both are there in everybody. Everybody should appreciate oneself to be Ardhanarishwaraha. I am Ardhanarishwaraha. That is a holistic way of thinking about oneself. And the last one is, from the standpoint of my true nature, I am beyond both of them. I am neither male nor female. So first, respect your gender. Second, have the holistic approach that I am both, and then transcend both. That is the approach, healthy approach towards the gender. More we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.